Right, here we go again. Nice to see you all back, so to speak. Today I'm going to be showing the benefits of actually getting out and about to look for bargains. I mean, I'm as guilty as anybody of just sitting and trawling through eBay, looking for bargains, stuff that I need, blah blah. But also I find that getting about once a week sometimes pays dividends. And today we're going to have a look at graphic novels. Recently I did a video on my favourite comic covers from the last 4 or 5 years on contemporary books rather than Silver Age and Golden Age. And this is kind of a companion to that. Now in the north of England we have a book chain. Well, it's not a chain actually, it's just an independent bookstore that happens to have a few shops. It's called a Travelling Man, and they have shops, only 4 shops in Leeds, Manchester, York and Newcastle, which is where I go once a week to do my browsing. And just recently they had a half price sale on graphic novels, and it lasted about 3 weeks, and I went in every week just to spread the cost a bit, Missed out on a couple by not buying everything at once, but you've only got so much money to last you the week, or I have anyway. So yeah, I want to show you what I picked up, just to prove that there are bargains out there, And then all of these were new and sealed, around about, on average, 11 to 12 quid each, which, is very good for hardback graphic novels. And I picked up a few. So this was the first one I picked up. Quite a popular series, The White Knight, I understand. I think I have read the first series a while back. I don't remember much about it, but it's kind of I don't know, it's an alternative sort of world of Batman. Doesn't seem to fit into the normal canon anyway. And it's by a very popular artist called Sean Murphy. We'll just get a look at some of his artwork in there. Find anything else of interest? A bit of action stuff. Yeah, so I thought that was interesting enough to pick up. It says on the back, "Welcome to Neo Gotham," so I assume it's one of these Elseworlds kind of tales that DC do. And then, now this one, I haven't read that one. Now this one I've read. It's excellent. It's a story about Batman's early days, where people are not really sure about him being a vigilante, and there's a guy who decides to be an imposter and sort of do things that people think the normal Batman's doing and try to bring him down, or certainly to make him unpopular enough for the police to go after him even heavier. As you can see, a false Batman is haunting Gotham City. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. It's one of these black label titles, which tends to be more adult oriented, if you like. I mean, the artwork's fairly interesting. And so I found it a really good read for the price. I mean, most of these graphic novels in hardback go for 20, 25 plus. So, you know, 11 and 12 ain't bad at all. Right, now I'm not familiar with this particular series, but apparently it's very popular, or it was. DC versus the Vampires. So volume 1's there, I've got volume 2, but there are, it did carry on. The storyline did carry on, I think, for another couple of series. It's written by James Tinian, who does very good work normally. You can see there, and this is one that I haven't read, but a quick example of the inside artwork, and a bit more colourful there. I mean, it looks very interesting. Says the war for Earth. The Justice League has long protected Earth from all manner of foreign and alien invaders over the years, always keeping a vigilant eye to the skies for the next threat. But what if the threat was already walking the Earth, hiding in plain sight, watching, waiting for their moment to strike? So yeah, I should be reading that, to be sure. This is the second volume, the first volume covers the comic book 1 to 6, and this covers the last 6, 7 to 12. Now, there were 2 covers available for this. Obviously, I would imagine this is the variant because it's very different to the other style of cover I saw, and I assumed when I saw that it was Jay Lee. It reminds me very much of Jay Lee's facial expressions and figures, you know. But in actual fact, it isn't Jay Lee, which disappointed me somewhat because I'm somewhat of a Jay Lee aficionado, and anything I see of his, I pick up. The cover artist is actually Guillaume March, who I have come across before. And you see, ominously, humanity lost the first battle, but the war against vampires has only just truly begun. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to reading that one. I've taken to reading more comics and graphic novels lately, so that should be a good pick. Now this one I was particularly pleased to get because I've seen the comic books around, but I've never bought them. It's Lady Mechanica. I mean, look at that. The artwork is beautiful, and I mean the artwork inside is excellent in that vein. As you can see, it's a kind of a steampunk vibe. It's about a woman, Lady Mechanica, who is trying to find out her origins and who gave her the mechanical parts. It's the storyline's a bit clunky and balloon heavy, you know, word balloon heavy. There's a lot of exposition in there. I prefer excuse me again. I prefer a comic that's told in the artwork more, you know, with minimum dialogue. But yeah, it's very nice. The back artwork, and I'll show you a few nice examples of the art inside. There we go. That's the guy. That's obviously the cover to the comic book. I mean, there's plenty of action sequences in the book. I've just come across one now. That's one of the other characters that's been turned mechanical. Action-wise, oh well, there's a bit more nice art. So yeah, it's a really nice book, that one. As I say, it's a pity the story's not a bit less verbose, if you like, but nevertheless, Very nice pickup. Now, this one, got these the wrong way around. I just bought this one on a whim, really. Say it was quite cheap compared with the original price. God Killer, Black Mask. I presume that's the publisher's. Yeah, I was intrigued by the cover, and then I read the back. And God Killer is the early display of genius and nascent voice ready to make a lot of fucking noise. If you pardon my French, that's all I'm reading. I'm reading this. It shows Pisolo's skills, that's the artist, obviously his taste, his balls, and it set the stage for what would come from Black Mask and Pisolo. A singular vision full of fresh, elegant brutality and dark humour. So that kind of appealed to me. I think it has something of a, well, I've read it. I know it has something of a steampunk vibe. I've read the first book. I've got two, and some of the artwork, and then the art style is a bit odd, not the usual comic art style. But then this is an independent publisher. I suppose you could say it's cartoony, which doesn't really fit into what what I read on the back there. But yeah, I quite enjoyed that. I believe it was I read somewhere that it's a limited run of 666. So yeah, I was quite happy with that. It's quite a thick volume as well, you know, you get plenty of reading for your money. That one originally was $40, so that would have been about 38 quid at current exchange rate. So that would have been about 18 or 19 quid, which I didn't think was bad. And then that's the second volume, which is a lot slimmer. Book 2 there. I haven't actually read this one, so that was about 13 quid. So, but you only get half the artwork. It's much the same. But yeah, I look forward to reading that. I don't know if there are any more after book 2, but if there are, I'll search them out. Right, now this is one that's always intrigued me when I've seen it around the comic shops, and because this was cheap, I thought I'd go for it. Skydoll. I know nothing about the character. At all, but it's obviously science fiction. Kind of jobby. There we go. Nice. I think I'm okay to show this, aren't I? And yeah, I mean, it looks very interesting from the artwork. So there again, I'll be giving that a run over very soon. Now I only bought this one because Joker was in the title. I'll put anything with a Joker. I love the Joker. Get Joker. It's had very bad reviews actually, this. And it's just a book about the Suicide Squad trying to run down the Joker, who who doesn't want to be run down. So there's some rather interesting stuff goes on here. Again, I've read this, and I mean, the dialogue's a bit strange. I can't really describe strange, but that's all I can say about it. the artwork's very dark. A bit brighter there because there's loads of pyrotechnics going on, but in general I found the artwork to be quite dark side with a sort of like grey brown palette. But you know, there again, I didn't mind it at all. There's an opening scene from it. It centres mainly around the Red Hood, which who used to be one of the Batman Robins in Batman that died, one of the many. So yeah, nice cover as well. I say it's had bad reviews or middling reviews, and I didn't mind it at all. Very cheap. Now the next couple, this is the other one I bought there. It's not a graphic novel, but I had to have it because I love Alan Moore. This is one of his story collections. I say brand new. Actually, it's 18 quid RRP originally, and so I'd have got it for 9. But I didn't mind paying 9 because it's it's a massive volume. And you won't get it any cheaper online, to be sure. It says here it's his first ever short story collection, actually, which spans 40 years of work. So, hypothetical lizard, I am au fait with, because they did a comic book of it. But the rest of the stuff in here, there's one in here actually about the comic industry, a fairly long story, I believe, about the comics industry, which should be interesting because I know Alan Moore fell out with the comics industry quite some little time ago, as witnessed him taking his name off Watchmen and the film versions of Watchmen and the other one, Viva Vendetta. How can I forget that? It's one of my favourite films. Now, this last couple I'm going to show you, I actually bought a little earlier somewhere else. But I thought they were interesting enough to show you. This is a 25 quid book that was only a £5. It's in a weird sort of format, sort of a square. But what it does, it charts the history of the underground comic. Robert Crumb and all of his associates in getting underground comics, trying to bring them into the light, really. I've read quite a lot of underground comics. There's a famous one, Rip-Off Comics, and of course Crumb did an awful lot of comics himself, of which I've read quite a lot. I've got a lot of time for Crumb. In fact, I've got a lot of time for the underground comics in general, because they brought a different sensibility to the comic book industry. It's a very famous book as well, The Freak Brothers. It's actually signed as well by the author Des Skin, who I've met a couple of times when I lived down in London. Of course, he was the editor of Warrior, the magazine that brought Miracle Man into the light, and Miracle Man is my favourite comic book series of all time, so good old Des is all right by me. And these last couple were ridiculously priced. Originally they were about 20 quid each. 18 quid each. Now I got them for 2 quid each, brand new. I think it's okay to show that because there's nothing naughty on display. And I didn't just buy these for the scantily clad women on the cover, I assure you. This has got some artwork by some people I like. Dave Dorman, there's some Jack Kirby in there. Alex Hawley is a Bisley rip-off. there's some interesting artwork in there. I've not actually read it, but yeah, I mean it's different. I don't think it's a compilation of any comic book. So that's one of my old favourite characters, and I forget his name, Mr. Somebody, from way back in the Mr. Monster. That was it, way back in the 70s, 80s. But yeah, I mean, for a couple of quid, you know, there's some really nice stuff in there. And then this one is the second edition. Nice cover. But this one apparently, this one features the, maybe I got that wrong. There's one of them. Thought I'd seen somewhere that one of these featured Asian talent. I think that must be the one. Sure, I saw Asian there somewhere, but never mind. And again, it's got some interesting authors there with some interesting artwork. As I say, for a couple of quid, you can't really go wrong. I'd say the artwork looks very nice. So that was Monster Massacre 1 and 2. I don't know if there's any more, but hopefully I'll get them for 2 quid each, but I doubt it. Okay, that is the lot that I bought, so I hope you found those interesting. As I say, it was just an example of how you can find bargains just by getting up and walking around, if you like. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that one. I will be back very shortly with the science fiction book haul for February, my favourite video of the month. I've only got one this month because first half of February was quite quiet for pickups, but I'll be back in a day or two with that, and I look forward to seeing you. Bye bye for now.